Alright. Alright. It's a Monday. I'm TK. This is Vega. And you're watching Cubic Cuties. So, tonight's topic is my gender identity. In the last video, I said that my gender identity is transmasculine genderqueer. So, I often wonder if I'm just a guy and that all these other modifiers on my identity are just posturing. Not to mislead anybody, but to say, oh, I'm this, and that says something about me. But I have a lot of self-doubt issues. Fun fact. I also said in the last video that when I don't have a social context to navigate, I don't really think about what my gender is. And that's still true. I'm just me at the end of the day doing whatever I do at the end of the day, going to bed or brushing my teeth. And maybe that's how everyone feels. In fact, I think my therapist told me that that's how everyone feels. You're just you at the end of the day. About 2 years ago, when I was trying to come to terms with my identity and, whether or not I was trans at all, I was constantly like, am I a girl or not? Am I a girl or not? It was like there were days when that was all I could think about because there was this like pressure to figure it out. And I don't know why I put that pressure on myself. I think it was because I have to figure this out so I can figure out what to do next. But when that would happen, I told myself that it's okay to not know the answer. It's okay to never be 100% sure. Life is a journey, and you're allowed to change your mind about anything at any time. But back then, that wasn't enough because the social dysphoria of being seen as a woman was just really overwhelming, and I knew I had to do something about it. So lately, now, here we are, I'll kind of, occasionally I'll get this, like, am I a guy or not? I gotta figure it out. Kind of similar to how I was starting out, except it's not, like, constant and, overwhelming. And I still tell myself the same thing, it's okay to not be completely sure. And that does a lot better job of, like, quelling that, that uprising of self-doubt. And also with the added benefit of now that I can go out into the world and be seen as a guy, and that makes me just feel a lot better. So does that mean I'm a guy? Some people would probably say, yeah, just get over it, you're a dude, but it's not about what other people think, it's about what I think. And sometimes I don't know what I think. So, am I non-binary? I have no clue. Sometimes I will look at these two states of wondering, am I a guy or not? Am I a girl or not? And look at that as like proof that I don't belong in either category. And to me, that's one definition of non-binary, seeing these two categories, rejecting them, and stepping outside of them. However, I know that that's a really Western-centric, Eurocentric definition of non-binary because it erases indigenous genders and things like that. And maybe the concept of non-binary is predicated on Western gender dichotomies anyway. I haven't really looked into it. If you have any information on that, please speak up, let me know. But that's where I am with it because I was raised in a Western Eurocentric gender binary and I don't have access to other understandings of gender. I know that there are indigenous genders in Filipino culture, but that's really hard for me to get in touch with as it is. I wasn't raised in the Philippines. It's really hard for me to find that connection. Just living in the South, and also my family hasn't been back in 20 plus years, so that's also part of it. So where I am now, today, my gender internally is a mystery to me, and that's fine, that's fucking cool, you just deal with it. I'm dealing with it, But I also know that I'm so much more comfortable being seen as a guy, navigating the world as a guy. Pronouns and everything. They, them, their pronouns, other neutral pronouns, totally fine with me, totally cool. There are occasions where I'll kind of get this feeling of like, oh, you don't see me as a guy, and that really only comes up with men that I'm attracted to, regardless of their sexual orientation. Ladies, see me however you want, and non-binary people, yeah, you can see me however you want. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, am I genderqueer? Hell yeah. Because even if I'm just a guy, you know, that experience is still informed by being a queer person. I'm still queering that. Um, and transmasculine, so that was kind of my concession with this whole thing. It's my way of saying that I want to be seen as a guy, and that's how I present like 90% of the time. The rest of the time is like me being naked, or like when I occasionally want to wear a skirt and some jewelry. But internally, I don't always see myself as a guy. So, there you have it. Am I non-binary? Who knows? You tell me. Am I a self-important trans guy who wants to eschew privilege and be a special snowflake? I'm sure someone thinks that. And sometimes I think that, but then I remember that that's unkind. Am I a demi guy, feeling like a dude sometimes and other times something undefined? That makes sense to me. All I know is that I'm hella queer. So, cute cuties. All of the above, somehow none of the above. I think that's the beauty of it. It's the essence of whatever this aboutness we're talking about. So, subscribe to our channel if you want to keep abreast of what's going on, keep track of all our updates, and I want to say that everybody on this channel is amazing and smart and beautiful, and I am so excited to undertake this with all of you and to get to know each and every one of you better. So, thanks, YouTube.